I need you to understand just how big the hype was. Like, we're talking about people who don't even play video games knowing about this thing. Your aunt who only plays Candy Crush, she'd probably heard of it. That's not normal. That doesn't just happen. CD Projekt Red announces this game in 2012. Just a teaser? Really? Mike Pondsmith's Cyberpunk universe, Neon Cities, Corpo Dystopia, the whole deal. But nobody's really paying that much attention yet because CD Projekt Red is... they're fine. They made the Witcher games, solid, but not like earth-shattering or anything. Then 2015 happens. The Witcher 3 comes out and it's one of those games that just changes the conversation. People are talking about it like it's the greatest RPG ever made. The writing's incredible, the world is massive, the DLC is better than most full games. And here's the kicker, CD Projekt Red is giving away free DLC. Actual content, not just horse armor or whatever. They're positioned as these like noble developers who actually give a damn about players, which in 2015, when everyone's mad about DLC and microtransactions and all that stuff, it's huge for their reputation. So now when they start really talking about Cyberpunk, people are listening differently. This isn't just another game. This is the next thing from the people who made The Witcher 3. The bar is stratospheric. E3 2018. They show the demo, 48 minutes behind closed doors, then they release it to the public later. And I remember watching this thinking, wait, can they actually do this? The city is vertical, like truly vertical. Buildings stacked on buildings, layers of neon and grime, and advertisements. You can customize everything about your character, not just appearance, but backstory, cyberware implants, your apartment. The UI looks slick, the combat looks visceral, it's first person which threw people off a bit, but whatever, it still looks insane. The role-playing stuff they're promising is wild too, choices that matter, branching paths, different ways to approach missions, stealth, hacking, going in guns blazing. It's supposed to be your story in Night City, this sprawling megacity where corporations run everything and human life is, it's disposable. And people they buy in completely. Pre-orders start piling up. The subreddit explodes. Twitter's on fire with theories and speculation. Everyone's analyzing every frame of footage. Then E3 2019. This is where things go completely off the rails in terms of hype. They're on stage, showing more stuff, and then... Keanu Reeves walks out, and the crowd just erupts. Like, people are screaming. He's talking about Johnny Silverhand, this rocker boy terrorist character he's playing, and someone in the crowd yells, "You're breathtaking!" And Keanu, being on Keanu, points at them and says, "You're breathtaking." That moment becomes this viral sensation. It's everywhere. Not just gaming sites, mainstream news, talk shows, memes, everything. Suddenly, Cyberpunk isn't just the next big game, it's a cultural moment. It's transcended gaming. Your coworker who only plays FIFA is asking you about it. This is not a normal level of hype for a video game. But here's where you start seeing cracks if you're paying attention. The release date keeps moving. They announce April 2020. Okay, fine. Then they delay it to September. Alright, they want to polish it. That's good, right? That's CD Projekt Red caring about quality. Then September becomes November. Then November becomes December 10th. And they keep saying things like, "We just need a bit more time, and it'll be worth the wait." Each delay, people get more anxious, more frustrated. But there's also this weird protective energy around it because, again, this is CD Projekt Red. They wouldn't release something broken. They're not Bethesda. They're not EA. They're the good guys. There are reports coming out during this time. Crunch culture at the studio, mandatory 6-day weeks, people working insane hours. And CD Projekt Red initially said they wouldn't do that they learned from The Witcher 3's development. But then they kind of quietly backtrack and admit, yeah, people are crunching, but it's for the greater good, for the game, for the players. That should have been a red flag. In hindsight, it was a massive red flag. December 10th, 2020. Launch day. I was up at midnight to play it, downloaded on PC. And look, my first few hours, pretty good. Some jank, sure, some weird bugs. An NPC glitched through a wall during a conversation. Some textures took a second to load, but I'd played Skyrim at launch, you know? This seemed manageable. Then I start seeing the posts. Twitter, Reddit, everywhere. And it's not people complaining about minor bugs. It's people saying the game is literally unplayable. Console footage starts surfacing. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and it looks catastrophic. Frame rates in the teens, textures not loading at all, the game crashing every 30 minutes, sometimes more. NPCs just standing there frozen, then suddenly teleporting across the street. And these aren't niche edge cases, this is the base experience for the majority of people who bought the game. Because most people don't have high-end gaming PCs or brand new PlayStation 5s that are impossible to find. Most people bought this for the console they already own. The internet does what it does best. Within hours, there are compilation videos, NPCs T-posing during emotional cutscenes, cars launching into space, characters appearing completely naked in the middle of serious conversations. It's a meme immediately, but there's this anger underneath it, this betrayal. CD Projekt Red's stock drops 30%, not over weeks, over 2 days. Sony pulls the game from the PlayStation Store entirely. When was the last time Sony did that for a major release? Never? I can't think of another example. They're offering full refunds, no questions asked. Microsoft starts offering refunds too. This is unprecedented. And then CD Projekt Red puts out this apology. It's corporate speak, mostly. We're sorry, we focus too much on PC, we'll fix it with patches, please stick with us. But what's not in that apology is the truth of what happened behind the scenes, because it comes out later, through interviews, through leaks, through people just being fed up and talking, that the developers knew, the actual programmers and designers and artists, they knew the game wasn't ready. They'd been telling management for months, and management kept saying, no, we announced a date, we can't delay again. The marketing machine is in motion, the investors are expecting returns, we have to ship. There's this one detail that really gets me. Reviewers before launch only got PC codes, only high-end PC footage. Console versions weren't sent out for review. That's not an accident. That's a deliberate choice to hide what the actual product was for most players. And for a lot of people, that's the real gut punch. The bugs are one thing. Games launch buggy, it happens, but this studio built its entire reputation on being transparent, on respecting players, on doing right by people, and they actively concealed what they were selling. They let people pre-order something they knew was fundamentally broken. There are lawsuits, actual investor lawsuits claiming misrepresentation, class action stuff. The studio that was supposed to be different, that was supposed to be better, is getting sued alongside the EAs and Activisions of the world. January 2021. The game that was supposed to define the generation is a punchline. Saturday Night Live makes jokes about it. People who've never played a video game know it flopped. It's entered the cultural consciousness as a disaster. CD Projekt Red issues a roadmap. Patches coming in January, February, expansions later. They're trying to calm things down, but the trust is just gone. People aren't believing the promises anymore. They've heard the promises before. And here's where most of these stories end, right? Game launch is broken, company apologizes, releases some token patches that don't really fix anything fundamental, and everyone moves on. The game becomes this cautionary tale, this example of hubris and mismanagement, and in 5 years it's a case study in a game design class somewhere. But that's not what happens here. CD Projekt Red does something that, honestly, I'm still not sure how to feel about it. They commit to actually fixing the game, not surface level fixes. They restructure the entire studio. They cancel their multiplayer project, which was supposed to be this huge thing, and just kill it. They delay other projects. They take the financial hit and dedicate the bulk of their resources to unfucking Cyberpunk 2077. And it's thankless work, by the way. Patch 1.1 comes out. Some bug fixes, some performance improvements. People are still mad. Patch 1.2, more fixes, still mad. 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. Each one making things incrementally better, but there's no headline for the police AI is slightly less broken now, or the game crashes a bit less frequently. It's just slow, grinding technical work that nobody celebrates. But the game gets better, month by month, patch by patch. By mid-2021, if you're on PC or current gen consoles, it's playable, actually playable. By late 2021, it's stable. The story, which was always pretty good honestly, starts to shine through now that it's not being interrupted by crashes and glitches every 5 minutes. The thing about Cyberpunk's story, it's genuinely interesting. V and Johnny Silverhand, this whole meditation on mortality and identity and what it means to exist. The side quests have that D from The Witcher 3, where they're not just go here, shoot this, they're these little contained stories with choices and consequences. Panam's storyline, Judy's questline, River's investigative missions. When the game works, to something really compelling there. The game's been out over a year. It's still not what was promised. It's still not the revolutionary life sim RPG they sold everyone on. But it's a functional, decent action RPG. Some people are even saying it's good. The city still looks incredible. Night City is genuinely one of the most impressive urban environments ever created in a game. The verticality, the density, the atmosphere. When you're driving through at night with the rain falling and the neon reflecting off puddles, yeah, it works. Then they announce Phantom Liberty, full expansion, new district, new characters, spy thriller storyline. Oh, and Idris Elba is in it. And people are skeptical because why wouldn't they be? Fool me once and all that. But they also announced patch 2.0, and this isn't just another bug fix patch. This is a fundamental overhaul. New skill trees, revamped police system that actually works, vehicle combat, AI improvements. They're going back and rebuilding core systems that were broken at launch. September 2023, almost 3 years after launch, Phantom Liberty drops alongside patch 2.0. And this is the weird part. They're good? Like, actually good? The expansion is tightly written. Idris Elba's character, Solomon Reed, actually works. He's not just celebrity stunt casting. The spy thriller plot feels distinct from the base game. Patch 2.0 makes the core experience feel like what it should have been in 2020. The combat has weight now. The perks feel meaningful. The police actually respond in ways that make sense. Reviews start coming in. 80s, 90s, people are saying things like, Cyberpunk is finally worth playing and this is what it should have been at launch. The game has this weird second life. It's on sale, people are buying it again or giving it another shot. The player count spikes. The subreddit goes from angry to cautiously optimistic. And there's this rehabilitation happening in real time. Not a full redemption, nobody's forgotten the launch, but this acknowledgement that they actually put in the work, that they didn't just abandon it and move on. But here's what bothers me about framing this as any kind of success story. It's not. It's just not. Cyberpunk 2077 cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make and market. It launched broken. It burned out developers who worked themselves to exhaustion trying to meet impossible deadlines. It damaged CD Projekt Red's reputation, maybe permanently, we'll see. It spawned lawsuits and refunds and got pulled from digital storefronts, then they spent 3 more years, and who knows how much money fixing it, making it what it should have been in the first place, and now, it's playable. Good, even. That's not a triumph. That's just expensive damage control. The human cost alone is staggering. There are developers who left the industry entirely because of how Cyberpunk's development went. People who got burned out on 100-hour weeks and said, you know what, I'm done with games. That crunch culture that enabled this whole disaster, still there, still grinding people down. No amount of patches fixes that. No expansion addresses that. And the thing is, most games don't get this chance. Most studios can't afford to spend 3 years fixing a broken game. You already have people's money. Why spend more? It's not economically rational. CD Projekt Red did it because they had to. Their entire brand was built on being the good guys, the player-friendly studio, and watching that brand implode in real time was apparently more costly than just fixing the game. But let's be clear, that's not noble. That's self-preservation. It's good that they fixed it, sure. I'm glad the game works now, but they only had that option because they're huge and they had The Witcher money backing them up. A smaller studio would have just collapsed. The developers would have been laid off. The game would have died. So where does this leave everything? Cyberpunk 2077 exists now as this strange cautionary tale that doesn't have a clean moral. It's a warning about hype culture, about crunch, about management ignoring the people who actually make the thing. But it's also this weird proof that you can fix a disaster if you have enough resources and stubbornness. CD Projekt Red isn't the golden child anymore. They're just but another studio that shipped something broken and spent years apologizing for it. The goodwill they built with The Witcher 3, spent. They'll build it back maybe, with time, but they're starting from scratch in a lot of ways. The game made its money back. The expansion sold well. By the numbers, it's a success. But that feels hollow when you think about everything it cost. The crunch, the layoffs, the damaged careers, the 3 years of just fixing things. Is that enough? I don't know. Depends on who you ask. The people still playing it seem happy. The developers who survived the crunch and stuck around got to see their work actually function properly, which probably feels good. The people who pre-ordered in 2018 and waited for 2023 to actually play it, maybe they feel vindicated, or maybe they're just tired. I think what gets me most is that this whole thing was avoidable. Every part of it, the disastrous launch, the years of fixes, all of it. If they just delayed it another year, if management had listened to the people building the thing, if they hadn't let the hype machine run so far ahead of reality, but they did, and here we are. Cyberpunk 2077 works now. You can play it, you might even love it. But it took 3 years, hundreds of millions of dollars, and an enormous amount of human cost to get here. That's not a comeback story. That's just what it looks like when a disaster is expensive enough to fix. And maybe that's the actual lesson. There are no good guys in game development. There are no studios immune to pressure and deadlines and the grind of capitalism. CD Projekt Red thought they were different. They had the goodwill, the reputation, the Keanu Reeves partnership. And they still shipped a game that bricked people's consoles and crashed every 20 minutes. The second chance they got isn't inspirational, it's just expensive and exhausting, and only possible because they had the money to survive it. Most don't.